All right, so here we go. So this is the Trump thing, guys. So here we go. So let's look at some things. So what's going to cause problems in Trump's chart? This is not Trump's chart, guys. This is the daily chart. And we don't really know things. Like, what do we know? Right? So the FBI, so the well, that's not an F. So the FBI, which is probably a political hit job, right? Like, whatever, man. I'm not pro-Trump at all, but it seems to me like they're picking on him a little bit. But the FBI is going to attack Trump, right? And they've been going for a while. So what are they doing? So they're going back to look at something. So they're going back and they're taking things away. So what planet is responsible for taking things away, right? And when we think about the planet that's going to take things away, and going back to take things away, nonetheless, we would expect that planet to be retrograde as well, because it's going back. Like if this is a timeline, right? If this is January and this is now, whenever the hell now is, or say now, when a planet goes retrograde, you can expect it to cover that distance, cover those events again, just because that's what it's doing. And so what are we going to see in his chart? Like, I'll just tell you, because I'm not guessing. Nobody's going to guess. Hey, Aaron is right there. Hey, Christine, what's up? And Brian, once again, SLC is going to kill me for not doing that, but I appreciate it. Okay, here we go. So Aaron's right. So Saturn is at 22 degrees retrograde. So Saturn, 22 degrees retrograde. All right, what else is going to cause problems? Maybe Mars? Maybe Mars. Mars is a troublemaker, right? Maybe we'll have to see. Mars is at 23 degrees. Mars can go either way, right? Like maybe because Trump's a charged guy, right? Maybe Mars is going to help him out a little bit. We'll have to see. That Mars at 23 degrees. This thing right here, this conjunction right here, right? This conjunction is a major changing energy for everyone. If it hits anyone and this is at 18 degrees. It says 17, but let's just say 18 degrees because that was a conjunction yesterday. All right, so that's at 18 degrees. That's going to be the same thing as this is at 18 degrees, right? The south node is at 18 degrees, but just, we'll just hang with that for a sec. So what else is going on? So we'd look at Saturn at 22. We'd look at Mars at 23. So what else is around there? Neptune, I guess, is at 24, and Neptune is illusions, right? Illusions and deception, and this is at 24 retrograde. Holy crapola, man. There's a lot of shit here. And finally, I guess, I guess you could say Pluto at 26, but I don't think Trump has thing like that's moving so slowly. It would have probably tore him down already, but something to keep in mind. And finally, one. Hey, Pam, what's up? One more thing. So what we're doing, Dr. P, is we're looking at, okay, let me stop yelling. So let me just calm down. I'm going to take some more ashwagandha and chill out, man. So this is the transit chart of today. And we're just looking at the transits about what planets and where might be responsible for causing, hey, Samantha, for causing Trump, the FBI to raid Trump right now. If we can see that in his chart. Now, I'm just pointing out some things astrologically that's going to that possible planets at possible degrees that if they interact with Trump's chart, will indicate that the FBI are going to attack him, or that people are going to attack him, or they're coming back for him. And right now, for the things we're describing, we're going to see, looking at Trump's chart, and we're not looking at it yet in about a minute, but we want to see that, Saturn should cause some of these problems, and it's at 22 degrees. Mars is at 23 degrees, causing problems. Neptune is retrograde at 24 degrees. And then other things, we have the nodes. We have the nodes in Uranus, which are causing big problems. And although it says 17 degrees, it's kind of at 18 degrees. It's already happened. The last thing you kind of want to look at for Trump right now, whoa, there's another thing in the sky. In the sky, I just went over this with the stellarium. Venus is behind the sun. Venus is in front of, well, I say behind the sun, right? But like Venus is the morning star right now. And that's going to put Venus in the 12th house from the sun. So this is the time for secret activities. So this is the time for everybody, for secret activities, sneaking around, and problems. Now, one more thing before we get to the chart. Trump is a Gemini Leo rising. So his rising is right here, and the sun should make Trump popular again. So Trump should be popular, should always be popular in Leo season because he's a Leo rising. But this particular Leo rising, he has all this sweetness going on behind the scenes, which is Venus. So he might be making money in secret. He might be in secret relationships. And it's, you know, the difference between the Venus and Mars is, if that was Mars there, that attack on Mar-a-Lago might have had some gunfire. Like, seriously, it would have been very difficult. It would have been gunfire. It wouldn't have not have gone down smoothly. But now Venus there, they just went and did their shit behind the scenes in a Venus kind of way. Right? Like Venus in the 12th house, secret relationships in a nice way. Mars in the 12th house, your secret relationship, your partner dies, right? So just keep in mind, it's the same thing, but something different happens to it. All right, so what are we looking for? Let me calm down a little bit. So Trump's a Gemini, right? Is there any major Gemini stuff? Yeah. So here's the other thing. Trump's a Gemini. So Trump's sun is right here, and there's more 12th house stuff. This crazy stuff that's happening right here is happening to Trump behind the scenes, right? Like they're out to get him behind the scenes. They're being sneaky and they're out to get him. Now, again, we're going to show the chart in a sec, so everybody be cool and chill out. So I'm telling you what we're going to see without even looking at anything. So Trump's a Gemini, that puts him here, and he's a Leo rising, that puts it there. So we're looking at the sun should be shining on Trump. Right now, he should be in the spotlight because of his rising. And this crazy nonsense stuff I've been talking to you guys for months on end right now, or maybe 2 months, happened to Trump in his 12th house. So there's two things happening in his 12th house. I just told you guys, if this was Mars, I just said if this was Mars instead of Venus there in the 12th house, then instead of an easy attack on Mar-a-Lago, it's going to be something sinister or negative kind of attack, and there might be gunfire or something. Well, behind sun, as it just turns out, as I'm looking deeper into the chart, Mars is actually transiting behind Trump's sun. It is. It is. So he has some sneaky business going on, and like people are doing sneaky stuff to him. He has haters, and there's something unexpected and really going to be might be difficult for him happening behind the scenes right now. All right, and that's the BS on his chart. Are you guys ready to look at his chart? All right, do you guys want to see how good we are on the sunny side? Oh, you're going to brag like an asshole all the time, Sonny? Well, it's not me. I'm pretty sure the students who used to, you know, from last year's astrology class could figure all of this shit out in seconds. I'm sure Dr. P could Pam could figure this out in seconds as well. All right, so what are we looking at here? What did I say that we'd look at? So Trump is a Leo rising. He's a Gemini, Leo rising right there. So what did we say to watch out for? So Saturn is at 22 degrees, right? Saturn's at 22. Mars is at 23. And so Mars is at 23. And these guys are at 18. And then we said maybe Neptune is going to pull a 24 kind of action in Pisces. Right, Pisces is mutable. All right, so here we go. You guys ready? So what kind of nonsense do you guys see going on between Trump and everyone else? So first, and this is going to hurt. and I guess right here, although I wasn't sure if it was going to come into play or not, it does appear that Pluto comes into play at 26 degrees as well. Now, my guess, now I said maybe Pluto, but I wasn't going to hardcore guess Pluto because Pluto's a very tight range, and it would have been hammering them behind the scenes for the entire year, actually. So Pluto at 26 degrees, like, it doesn't necessarily indicate that today is the day, but it does indicate that something crazy is happening. And when you look at it, that Pluto is moving backwards opposite is Venus, and Venus is his love and money, right? And look, Pluto is opposite transiting Venus. So here we go. So here we go, guys. So here's the action. Here's the assault on Trump's chart. You guys ready? It's right here. These boxes right here. That's the attack. So in Trump's life, right now, we have all of this energy. We have Mars at 23 degrees, Neptune at 24 degrees, Saturn at 22 degrees. And that's all, right? All the 23, 24 degrees. This is a 22. All this 23, 24, 22 stuff is impacting his sun. All right? It is kind of impacting his nodes as well, right? His node at 20 degrees. But let's not, freak everything out here, okay? Let's not say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, because yes and no, okay? Yes, let's not go crazy here. But all of this is definitely impacting his sun. Is it all, and what I want you guys to really take notice here is that it's not necessarily negative angles. Like, it's not necessarily, although this, I just drew you guys a square. Way to go, Sonny. It's not, like, that is not a square, right? And that's a trine. That's a harmonious angle. So it doesn't have to be a negative aspect for something crazy to happen. It just has to kind of, load up and happen. And that's what's going on with Trump's chart, with the stuff in the low 20s, the stuff around 22. Now, for the other stuff, okay, so that's the Trump stuff around 22. The next stuff you want to take into account is this Pluto coming back opposite this Venus. Excuse me, in the other direction. This is brutal, 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 brutal. This is going to add obsession to stuff. Like, Pluto is obsessing. And somehow or something, the universe or whatever or someone has a real Jones to pick with this guy, man. Like a real dig in and shave the what the hell kind of Jones. And it's really taking away. I didn't know. If I would, like, this says Trump's either in the process of losing a lot of money right now, or he's spending money to make money, or he might have money problem. I don't know, like, I couldn't imagine Trump having money problems, but like this says he might be having money problems, or he's going through a restructuring of his finance, or he's going through a restructuring of his love life. So restructuring of love and finance. In addition to that, Pluto's at 26 degrees, so it's affecting his Venus, and it also flakes off and affects his Mars as well. So there you go. So there you go. He's going through a bad life experience. And as much as we want to say, oh, good, Trump's out of it, this is the last kind of, monkey to be let out of the barrel for Trump, or like this is the last can of spray orange. It's not. Like, it's not. He is not out of the woods yet. Very much not. What's going to happen? And then, so this is just it. So just some of these things, like his Venus is under attack. So that means his love and his money are under attack. They're changing in ways he can't imagine, and it's changing in ways that he might not, he can't really do anything about it. And people are obsessing about it. It's not the same as Saturn opposite. When Saturn was opposite Venus, that's when Trump had problems. Saturn was opposite his Venus. When was this? In 2020, in February 2020, January at 25 degrees. Yeah, in February 2020, Saturn was opposite Trump's Venus. It's really funny, actually. Why do you think it was so easy to pick Trump losing the election? One of the things with this Saturn was cruising through over here, just taking everything away from him. That was easy one. Even Sleepy Joe, it was easy to pick Sleepy Joe. And Sleepy Joe has all that stuff in the 12th house. With all that stuff in the 12th house, he makes a great politician, but you'd never expect him to be president with all that stuff in the 12th house. But nevertheless, Trump was getting, his stuff was being taken away at the time of the election. And right now, he's having that problem again. See, it's cruising in. Well, the 23 doesn't count. 22 doesn't count. Now, here's what you guys have to watch out for. This is moving in this direction up until till November, I think. And then it's going to come back. So right around Christmas time, or right around the middle of November, oh my goodness, when this goes direct in the middle of November, when this Jupiter goes direct, it's not going to really do anything. Not for Trump, it's not going to do anything. So for Trump, so Jupiter direct's not going to do anything. Neptune, okay, whatever. Pluto direct is going to move on. Okay, so when Pluto goes direct, it's not going to crunch this anymore. So it's going to crunch this a little bit, but when Pluto, like his health and vitality, like if I were to, I would be more concerned that Trump might have like health problems coming up. And I'd say around Christmas time when Saturn it returns to around 26 degrees. Here, I might as well pull the thing up and show you guys. When Saturn is coming in a little later, right, so Saturn is over here right now at 22 degrees. So Saturn is in Gemini at 22 degrees. But we're talking about Saturn coming back. So here's what's going to happen. Saturn is retrograde, blah, 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 blah. And then right around here, right, it's going to get down to 18 degrees. So it's not really going to, it's going to stress him out a little bit. It's going to take a lot of luck away. But again, these are harmonious angles here, harmonious aspects. So around the middle of October or the last end of October, Saturn's going to change direction. And although it's, and see Pluto's changing direction, 26 degrees, Saturn's changing direction, 26 degrees. Shortly, you'll see Jupiter up here change directions. And it's going to move on. And as everything is moving on, you'll see that at the beginning of January, right at the top here, I'll show you this guy. I'll write this down for you guys. So right around the beginning of January, I don't know what's going on in the States in the beginning of January, but like, because isn't the election in November or something? But right around the beginning of January, they're going to come back for him. See that? Saturn's going to be at 22 degrees moving in that direction. See, Pluto's going to be 27 degrees. It's moved on. And the sun is going to be down here in Capricorn, highlighting his romance and his children and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And you'll see Venus will have changed directions by then. See, Venus in January is going to be on this side of the sun in the first house. Right now, Venus is on this side of the sun. Are you guys catching all of this? Am I speaking too fast? I'm describing the motion of the planets for you astrologically. And so around the beginning of January, Trump is going to go through all of this all over again. And that's the deal. That's the problem. That's the deal. That's what's going on. That's what you have to watch out for. And that's it. No big deal. It's pretty straight ahead if you ask me. But that's how you do it. We know, we knew what we were going to, we're professional astrologers here, or at least I am. So I knew what I was supposed to be looking for before we went into to look for it. So there's not really any screwiness or any guessing, really. Some of the other stuff is fun, though. Like this thing, that Mars-Pluto thing was kind of neat. But that's the deal, guys. Any questions? I'm good. Any questions about any of that stuff before we get on to whatever we're getting on to tonight?